So you are here at the Governor of Victoria House. What are the expectations really from Modi? Do you think there were some great takeaways from the G20 that happened?
Definitely. I think both from the G20, the more awareness of some of the major issues around terrorism, obviously, around global warming, resource consumption, but also from a business perspective, more bilateral relationships between India and Australia. It has been fun to look at the future of many of the industries where we in India excel at, as well as what Australia excels at, like resources, energy, mining, infrastructure, transportation and logistics, and so forth. And of course, from our point of view, knowledge, IT, services, and so on. So it's quite, I think it is a landmark moment. I mean, I was at the All Phones Arena yesterday, and it was what an unbelievable speech that was by the Prime Minister.
But what about Prime Minister Narendra Modi? What is so strikingly different about him that makes him something totally different? Is it perhaps that we have a leader after a very long time who has this kind of a charisma, and also he is taking the India story to each and every corner of the globe? We are told that he was the most clicked Prime Minister, head of the state there in the G20. And also yesterday I was speaking to locals in Sydney. They said they haven't seen any other event where head of a state was given such a warm welcome.
I mean, in life, what I have learned is that you need to get great things done. You need knowledge, you need imagination. And he has obviously both of those in extremely high degrees. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, you need conviction. And I think one thing that has become clear on this trip is that he is a man of conviction. So he's an incredible commitment to get things done. And the speech, he speaks from his heart, and he deeply believes that. And of course, he's an incredible orator. He is very, very articulate. So it was absolutely spellbinding yesterday to be in the arena and to listen to him with such passion. Mm-hmm. So it is very rare to have a leader like that, and it's very special.
Right. One last question, sir. You are here at the Governor of Victoria House. A meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi will begin. There are several CEOs like you. You've traveled all across from India. There's Anand Mahindra. There's Adani and several others. What are the key issues do you think that need to be discussed and addressed here? And what are the focal areas? Of course, energy is one focal point, but what are the focal areas where both the countries need to take the relations forward?
I think what it means to be digital. So we have been talking, the Prime Minister has been talking about digital India. Mm-hmm. And we at Infosys and broadly in the IT world, we deeply believe in this idea of a digitizing world around us. Mm-hmm. And of course, whatever we do with digital India, then our expectation, our hope, our endeavor is to see that it gets into a digital world, a digital Australia. Mm-hmm. That is one big thing. How does software and computing technology help revolutionize the world around us? Mm-hmm. Whether it is mines, I mean, the future of mines is digital mines. Mm-hmm. Manufacturing, transportation, digital transportation, software is making its way into the railroad tracks, into the coaches, into the engines, logistics optimization and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But the other part that was very amazing, and I have been meeting with some of the universities and so forth here, is the education. Mm-hmm. We are, of course, in India very distinguished at education, the knowledge economy and so on. And here in Australia, they see a unique need for that. Mm-hmm. Australia is a very large country with a relatively small population. Mm-hmm. So education is a unique way for them to scale. So there is a great synergy in education as well. Mm-hmm. So things of that nature. There are the traditional partnerships that others do with Australia. Mm-hmm. But what we can do around digital, around manufacturing, the future of these things, as well as around knowledge and education is quite phenomenal.
In fact, Aditya is joining us live now from Melbourne. Aditya, of course, we just heard that conversation, and we are pretty clear at the moment, of course, but with the fact that Prime Minister Modi has impressed, he has charmed business leaders and the political leaders alike. But talking about his schedule today in Melbourne, two things are being talked about: his reception by the Australian Prime Minister at the historic MCG ground, and later his meeting with Australian CEOs.
Well, absolutely. Hello and welcome to the live broadcast coming to you here from the Governor of Victoria House. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected in 20 minutes from now. If I can just give you a brief outlook, if I can ask my video journalist Vimal to pan and show you, this is the main entrance where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is supposed to arrive any minute now. Approximately in 20 minutes he will be here. And in fact, these are the last minute preparations that are being done. You can see a banner of Australia-India Business Council. That exercise that is being conducted mainly by the Indian and Australian business tycoons. In fact, just moments ago, as you heard, I was speaking with the CEO and MD of Infosys in India, who had come all the way from Bangalore. Earlier Times Now has, of course, spoken with Anand Mahindra of the Mahindra Group and several other key leaders like Peter Bond, an Australian businessman in the energy sector who has large sum of investments in India. All these key CEOs of India and Australia are very keenly observing the Indo-Australian ties, and of course they closely monitored the speech by the Indian Prime Minister in the Australian Parliament this morning in Canberra, which was appreciated by one and all. In fact, also Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid emphasis on the business ties, on the trade ties. In fact, one of the key agreements among the three key agreements apart from the security cooperation was on the trade ties between India and Australia. So certainly all these, both the leaders, Tony Abbott, Prime Minister of Australia, and the Indian Prime Minister, taking this relation forward. Of course, this will be the venue where this entire meeting will be taking place. We are told close to 500 CEOs of India and Australia will be participating in this business meeting. This is being organized by the Australia-India Business Council. And as you rightly pointed out, soon after, we'll have a massive grand reception of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This will be in the lawns of the famous Melbourne cricket grounds. In fact, Times Now just moments ago caught up with the legendary cricketer Kapil Dev, who said he was excited about the event and would be speaking on the occasion while he greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So the stage is set here inside the Governor of Victoria House. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reached Melbourne, and within 15 to 20 minutes he will be here, and formally the ceremony with and the meeting with the business delegates and the CEOs of top companies would begin.